Konnichiwa, hola. Oh, why are you lower than me?
Bonjour.
Hello! Today we're going to be talking about our experience at Newcastle Uni and in the city generally of Newcastle.
We're nearly done. We've got
so
a term, not even a term left.
If you don't know, we're in our final year.
I do
times.
English language.
Yeah, and I do media and communication.
And we met because we were in the same flat in first year.
Yeah, so that is our little story.
So on brand, I've got my uni card just here.
Don't show them your number.
No, but look at my picture, it's so ugly. It doesn't even look like me anymore, thankfully.
Yeah, you look so different than that.
If you're deciding where to put as your first choice,
we would highly recommend Newcastle. Just got everything you need, which we'll obviously talk about in this video.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know about everyone's experience at Newcastle, but I've never heard of anyone really saying that they wish they hadn't gone to Newcastle. No. So let's begin.
Commence.
Okay, we started with Freshers Week.
Freshers Week.
Freshers Week. Woo! Oh my god. Okay, Freshers Week. Number one tip: don't buy any wristbands. No, not even just the uni freshers band, which is just the day activities. We got the nighttime one, and we went to one thing.
We didn't even go in.
I know, we didn't even go in. So
yeah, Freshers Week I feel like is hyped up to be this like big amazing week, when actually it's probably some of the worst nights out we've ever been on. Not worst as in like in fun levels, but worse as in like the weirdest,
because
randomest
you
places.
Go to you don't know where you enjoy going, so you end up going to these places that you wouldn't really go in the future. Then you don't ever go to those places. When we say don't buy the band, like it's not us saying like don't go out and do activities, like if you want to do stuff with the uni, but I just think it's a waste of money. It's like 60 quid.
Yeah, the one here is like £60, and you get all the evening activities, but like a lot of the time they weren't. And like I feel like Freshers Week, like you are just gonna go out. Obviously you don't have to if you don't like drinking and stuff, but like our experience was that we just went out on these like random nights out every night, and we weren't really in any fit state to go paintballing the next day. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it would have just been a waste of our money. Yeah, you have to get up at like 9 in the morning to like register. Realistically, if you're going on nights out in Freshers Week, you're not going to be bright and early getting up, going, doing all these activities. I think that as well, it's more important to spend your Freshers Week getting to know who you're living with, rather than like random people that did the Freshers activities. Yeah. Like people in flats like around you, like upstairs. Do you know what I mean? Like
we did things like we just went out for tea together and went to pub quizzes, didn't we, and stuff like that, like with the flat, because and I just think then you're not thinking, oh god, I've spent that money, so I better go, because like you might buy it and then actually not really want to go, but you feel like you should because you've paid the money. So I would recommend just literally going and seeing what happens. Also, I think you can still buy them like quite close to the time, so if you got to uni and all your 5 flatmates had them, then maybe you would think, oh, I might buy one now. But I don't think it's worth like worrying about and buying them before, like everything's fine. Also, a top tip for Freshers Week is to mingle, like you said, with other flats in the building. So literally just knock on their door. Like, I think we were a bit like apprehensive. Like, what if they think we're weird? What if they think?
But if they'd have done that to us, we would have really liked it.
Yeah.
We did it to the girls across, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the thing is with our flat, like, because there was 6 of us in our flat, and we did all get on, so I think we weren't as like bothered about reaching out, whereas, you know, do you know what I mean? Because we were quite comfortable. If it had just been like
me and you and we didn't really get on with the others, maybe we would have been like, we'll go,
let's go. But literally just go up to whatever floor, knock on the door and go like, hey,
do you want to go out
what
tonight?
Are you guys doing tonight? That's a top tip for Freshers. 100%. You have to be confident and put yourself
and
out
the thing
there.
is, you can't, well, I suppose you could, but like 2 months down the line it might be a bit weird to go and knock on the door and be like, what are you doing tonight? Whereas like Freshers Week is your
acceptable
prime opportunity to just speak to as many people as possible.
I remember me and you were in the hall and we were like, hi, I'm Vas. I'm Hannah.
So moving on from that, should we talk about halls?
Yeah.
There's so many different kinds of halls, like catered, like Castle-Leazers, like all these things flying around.
We were in Liberty Plaza, which is a private accommodation.
Flat C74.
Oh, so that's private accommodation. It's not uni owned, but it's all Newcastle Uni students.
We were like allocated by uni still.
Yeah. So because it is like private only, I'd say it was a nice, like it's quite new, it's nice.
Really nice for uni hall.
Like I think maybe people think with private ones it's not going to be the same social life, but it was like really sociable. And what's good about Liberty Plaza is it's like 3 different blocks and they're all like facing each other, and then there's a courtyard in the middle. And we got lucky because our window was like looking onto the courtyard, like our kitchen, so we could like people watch all the time, and it just felt like a little community.
So if you know Newcastle a bit, our accommodation was right next to St James's Park, like the stadium. It was like a 10-minute walk from uni, from town. It was perfect location. But there was one next to ours, so the exact same location, but it's called The View, and it's just one tower block, and you just walk out of the block onto the main road. So I feel like that kind of loses that social aspect of like the courtyard and like stuff going on. So yeah, I would recommend Liberty Plaza, even just the location 100%. Was and so nice. Verde is next to it, which is the same kind of courtyard like thing.
Private, like,
and that one you get a free gym as well.
Yeah.
But I think it was way more expensive. Ours was £131 a week. Like, that is mad.
That is.
A week. It was en suite, to be fair.
Yeah, it's en suite.
We all had our own en suite.
Self-catered, which is something I like would really recommend. For first year, like not that it like if you want to be catered that's fine, but I know people that are catered and they never really went down because they had to. You have to go at a certain time.
So you're paying for it and you're not even using it anyway.
You don't get lunch most of the time, and you don't get it on weekends for quite a lot. So you have to cook. But you only have this tiny little kitchen if you have catered. I just think self-catered is so good because
I think catered's going out of fashion. Like I think most unis only have like one. Our uni has like one catered halls, and it's not even the whole of that halls is catered. Like I don't think it's as much of a thing anymore.
But I would try and go self-catered.
But I would go self-catered.
But yeah, so then you've got Castle Leazes,
which is like
the big
boy. Castle Leazes is this really big accommodation here.
There's like 1,400.
Yeah, like, and it's got loads of different buildings, and it is the most sociable one. Like, to be fair, like I think there's like 16 people on like a corridor and stuff, so you kind of like get to know everyone there, and then people seem to mingle between floors like very easily.
Yeah.
But it's gross. Like, and I think
when I remember when I was deciding, I was like, oh, do I want to be in this sort of like gross one, but I'm gonna have such a good social life, or do I want to be in a nicer one, but maybe I won't meet
as many people.
It's not one or the other.
It's not you, because
we had a really nice flat and we had a really good social life.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you have to stay in that Castle Leazes to have this good social life, because you don't.
But if you are the kind of person that wants to kind of know like hundreds of people at uni, then maybe Leazes would be for you, and you're not that bothered about the cleanliness.
Yeah.
Although they've just opened one next door now, which is called Park View, and I think that's where I'm going to suggest my brother applies for, because I think it's like the same vibe as ours, as in like it's like modern and nice and stuff, but it still seems to have this kind of maybe social aspect that Leazes has. Obviously, I don't know, it wasn't open when we were in freshers,
but that's like really next to campus as well. So it's a good location.
It's good next to campus, although a bit of a trek from town.
I'd rather be closer to town, because we were still like 10 minutes from uni. But
I could leave my bedroom at like 7 minutes to and get it, because lectures start at 5 past, and get to a lecture, like it's fine. I also think what is worth saying with halls is like you'll have fun whichever halls you're in. Like it's really not the be all and end all. Like if you don't get the halls you want, then I don't think stress about it. I think just think, right, well I'm staying here now.
It's the people that you meet, isn't it?
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, maybe your future husband will be in the same halls as you were.
So nightlife,
Newcastle nightlife.
I think Newcastle nightlife is quite
raved about.
Yeah, a big thing. It's everyone's like, oh, you must have such good nights out, like, which we do. But maybe should we say some places which are good to go? So we kind of changed like in first year and then to second year and even to third year. You just like change where you go. I mean, obviously you go to some places the same, but like definitely I feel like first year it was like Soho, like because it's free and everyone goes to Soho, and then we started going to MSA quite a bit, and then like second year to third year like Holy Hobo, like it just like changes. Like
and now we're just so old we don't even go out.
I mean, we're going out tonight, but okay.
So some like classic places that if you're coming to Newcastle you might want to try are Soho. No, Soho's really good because it's free entry. It's really big. Everyone you know will be in there. Like, you always see people you know. And yeah, it's cheap drinks. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Then MSA is one of our favourites. So it's really cool. It's like, do you used to be a pub?
I think so. It's like
it's got low ceiling. It's kind of underground. It's got a low ceiling. It's got like a cool smoking area with like a staircase, like a metal
staircase.
It's really fun, and they do certain nights there. That's something you'll figure out when you come to Newcastle. Every night you could go out. There's something on every night. So it's more like nights at clubs rather than like going the club. Apart from Soho.
Yeah.
It would be like, oh, let's go to like
you probably wouldn't go to MSA on a Wednesday. No. Well, actually, there's like an event called Loco once a month on a Wednesday, for example.
Yeah, but you would go to Off the Record on a Thursday. Or we used to go to Soundboy on a Monday.
Gray's Club is like another example. So there's like Gray's Club is the club, and it's really cool because it's like a normal club like inside, but then outside the technical smoking area is actually kind of like the main part of the club. It's like a big dance floor basically in like an alleyway.
Like, long alleyway with
like fairy lights.
And there's a DJ outside in the alleyway.
Oops is on a Monday.
And on a Thursday they have an event called Swingers, which is like their most famous like night out. And then on a Friday they do like a block party. So they
I really want to go to that.
I want to go to that. So Gray's Club is a club I would like really recommend.
So then for stuff like event, like techno-y, disco-y, drum and bass DJs, whatever your kind of like music is, there's like 3 main places that they would play. So that's Digi, which is like this huge, I think it's like one of the biggest clubs in Europe. It's like a super club. And they kind of host like big events. So we went to like Camel Fat there, I went to like My New Lang, like kind of like big names would go to Digi. And then there's 2 smaller venues. One's called Cosmic Ballroom and one's called World Headquarters. And we're actually going there tonight.
Tonight for Soul Jam. So they hold little like smaller events like that. Soul Jam, what else?
But then Melody was there actually. It's like Cosmic was like Pause there, Melody again, like kind of like cool places for events are Cosmic and World. I really like Worldies.
Yeah, same.
It's one of my favourite things, but again you wouldn't really just go there on a random Monday. Like you'd go there if there was an event you wanted to go to.
The thing is, like, you figured this out.
Yeah.
Like no one sat us down and said, on this night you're gonna go here, and this night you just figure it out. You just where are people going tonight? Where's the best place to go? You just speak to people and you figure it out. There's so many promoters like in Freshers Week trying to get you to go to like their club, but like just go to wherever you fancy. There's the Cut, like which plays like indie kind of music, which we wouldn't go to because we're not really into that. So like we can only talk about the type of music that we enjoy.
I think Newcastle does just offer that like range, and like every night of the week you could go to like a different place, but then also it's so big and got so much to offer, but every time you go out you see people you know. It's like it's just like a nice kind of like
because I talk to people from smaller unis, like unis in smaller places, and they say, oh, we've got like 2 clubs, and they just go to the same club every time they go out, and you're thinking, God, it's so good in Newcastle because you have so much choice.
So as well as nightlife, Newcastle is just like a really nice, cool, fun city to like live in. I think my favourite thing about it is it isn't huge. Like if you go to like Manchester or Liverpool or something like that, they're like big cities, whereas like Newcastle is actually kind of all enclosed in like quite a small area, but it still feels like you're living in a city. It still feels like there's so much going on, like there's always things to do.
It's just a buzzing atmosphere in the city, whereas like I've visited other places that are just a bit dead, like, and you just think, and there's so many students, like so many young people.
Because not only is there Newcastle Uni, there's also Northumbria, and they're literally next door, like right next to each other. So like there's just so many students here. It is a student city.
Newcastle's uni is really good because it's a city uni. You cross the road and you're on Northumberland Street, which is the high street. It couldn't be in a better location. And like there's the shops, there's restaurants, cafes. The quayside is really pretty to go on walks. There's parks.
Jesmond Dean,
there's just honestly so much. And I think it's also cheap, like compared to other cities. I just think it ticks every box for a student.
Something I love about Newcastle is that the town you live in, or you might live in when you're in 2nd and 3rd year, is like stunning compared to other uni towns. Like I've got friends at like Leeds and Manchester, and they live in Hyde Park or Fallowfield, and they're like, I'm scared I'm gonna get stabbed when I go out of my door. Whereas like Jesmond is just like, it's beautiful, it's so nice, and it's like you would only live here if you weren't a student, if you were rich. It's really weird how this has become a kind of like student town.
Yeah.
There's a road running down the middle of it called Osborne Road. Like, we work on there. Like, there's loads of bars that everyone goes to.
And it's just like iconic, like, and I would like highly recommend when you're making your choice of where to live in second year.
And I think that should be an influential factor on what uni you go to. It's like, you might be thinking now, like, what halls am I going to live in first year? But actually, for the next 2 years or 3 years, where you're going to live, because obviously Fallowfield in Manchester might be really fun, but like Jesmond is just so, I always feel so safe. It's so nice. Obviously the houses are still student grotty houses that like aren't looked after by the landlords, but you know, it's like, you get over that.
And when you're making like your choice for your house, is like, don't feel like you have to rush into it.
Yeah, big thing.
This pressure's put on you like around November time, like, oh, if you don't get a house now, they're all gonna go.
Like, you really don't need to, like, obviously the really, really nice ones might go straight away.
Or ones with like 8 bed.
Yeah, if you're looking for big groups. But if you're just looking for maybe like 4 of you and you just know you want a nice-ish house in Jesmond, like, really don't rush. And I think rushing into it is when you fall into problems with like housemates and stuff. Fresh is this kind of like whirlwind of like meeting new people and stuff. If you're signing for a house in November, you've literally known them 6 weeks. Like, so much can change. So I think, don't feel like you need to be rushed.
No,
you could sign for a house in March and have found people you actually genuinely really want to live with and have a better time. So like, obviously don't leave it too last minute, because you don't want to be stranded, or you don't want everyone else to have got a house and you not to. But I really, really would stress, don't rush. Like, it's not worth it. General advice about Newcastle, I think it's just a friendly city. It's small enough that you feel like you know it quite well, but it's big enough that it's still a city. That is one of my favourite things. Living in Jesmond second year is so nice. Everyone just seems to be friendly, and I know that you probably get that. Like, we can't speak for all unis. Like, you could literally have the best time if you go to like Leeds or whatever. But if you're thinking like, would I like Newcastle? I'm gonna go 99% of the time yes. Like, I don't really know why you wouldn't like it. It's like, it's fun, it's nice, it's friendly.
Looking back, if I went back to sixth form now and was applying, I'd apply to Newcastle. I wouldn't think, actually, I would go somewhere else. No, I would stick to my choice of Newcastle.
100%. Like, I'm gonna miss it so much.
Same. Oh my God.
I love it. Like, it's such a nice city. And we've had such a fun 3 years.
Don't, you're gonna make me sad. So hopefully this video is a bit helpful if you are debating whether to come to Newcastle Uni. But if you do have any questions, like, feel free to message us or leave a comment.
Conclusion of the video, we recommend Newcastle, and I wish I could have 3 more years here. We'll see you next Sunday for more quality content for Vas and Han. We might have like 500 subscribers by then. Who knows?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Share us with your friends. If you like us.
Yes, please. All the support we can get. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Sunday. Bye.